In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn into an expert degen trader starting from absolute zero, and these results I've been able to generate them over the last few months in my VIP group. These are only some of the scorecards that I've achieved. I've called around 10, 100 X's in my group, and honestly, everybody can achieve these results. I'm not the kind of guy that sits 7 hours in front of my screen every single day. This is the tutorial that I wish I had when I started. I'm going to give you 7 clear steps that you can follow from the very setup into taking profits. Obviously, there's a lot of risk involved, but with this guy, you're going to be able to tell what is a scam and what can have a lot of potential to give you some of the X's that I showed in the screen before. 99% of people in crypto lose money. I'm going to show you how to become part of the 1%. So the first thing that you got to do is obviously get on Axiom. Axiom is the best trading bot available on the market right now. With my referral link, you're also going to get 10% of trading fees. So your trading fees are going to be extremely low. Also beware of scam links. Obviously, the real links are going to be down in the description of this video or also in the description of my X profile. On a little side note, now Axiom is available both on the Solana and BNB chain, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna stick to the Solana chain as that is the most preferred one for degens, and BNB is still in a beta version. So the first step that you gotta do is download a Phantom wallet. Phantom wallet is a hot wallet for Solana, is my choice and pretty much what everybody uses. And after you download Phantom wallet, you're obviously gonna deposit some Solana from a centralized exchange, and after that you're gonna send that Solana from the Phantom wallet into your Axiom profile. You can also do it directly from a centralized exchange, but obviously this is the procedure that the majority of you guys are gonna use. And for the funding wallet on Solana, you're going to be able to find it under the portfolio section. You're going to be able to see your wallet address right there. And if you go on create wallet, you're going to be able to create as many wallets as you possibly can. That is just as simple as that. This is not rocket science. Everybody can do this. And now I want you to spend the majority of your time under the post section. There's also a discover section that kind of works like deck screener to see what's trending, but this is going to be full of scams. It's not really regulated or protected. So I want you to stay under the poll section. And here I want to make the distinction between new pairs trenching and final stretch / migrated trenching. The first one is going to be extremely risky. The majority of the ones that you see right now under new pairs are going to go to zero within a matter of seconds. So I would not recommend this for a beginner, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up just in case you want to dive into that. What I do personally is focus on final stretch and migrated, especially on final stretch, because under final stretch, basically you're going to be able to see these tokens that are about to migrate and achieve 100% bonding completion in the bonding curve of Pump Fund. So after 100%, they're going to be listed on Radium, on PumpSwan, and they're going to be regular meme coins that you can find on the screener that are already migrated indeed. These are usually the ones that yield the best risk to reward ratio because obviously you're still very early, but in the majority of cases, you know, if they've been around for like 1 or 2 hours, they're not going to go to zero within the next 5 seconds, which I cannot say about the new pairs. Now, the third step is obviously setting up your filters correctly. There's filters that are different for every sort of category under the polls. Let's take a look at every single one of them. So right now I would train Pump and Meteora, but this changes every time, and obviously depending on the time that you're watching this video, it could have changed by then. And also for the token pair, this is basically the counterpart of the trading pair. So let's say that you're trading Tom on Solana, the trading pair is going to be Tom/Solana. If you're trading Tom USDC, then obviously you're going to need USDC, but on Axiom, everything occurs through Solana. So if you're trading a pair that is different and is using a stable coin, then the stable coin is going to be basically swapped from your Solana right before you take the trade. This is also going to take a few milliseconds more, so these trades are going to be a little slower than the ones on Solana. This is why I will stick to the Solana ones for now. For keyword targeting, this is really for advanced traders that want to try to snipe a token. So if you know that a token is going to be named a specific name, let's say Tom the cat, I could put something like Tom cat, etc, etc. And if I know that it's not a dog, I would also put dog right here because I know it's not a dog, so it's going to exclude all the keywords that contain dog within the ticker or within the token description. Let's remove them just for the sake of this video. And here, very important. So for audit, you can put DexSpade or CA ends with pump, like a lot of things. I would not recommend DexSpade if you're doing something that is in final stretch because obviously, you know, the majority of cases, they're not going to be paid yet, although they're going to be paid probably under the migrated section. So you could have DexSpade for migrated, but I would not have it for anything else. Since we're doing new pairs right now, I would just leave it unticked, and then age maximum 2 minutes. This is what I personally do, so that basically I only see what's being developed right now in this very moment. But again, don't do this unless you're extremely advanced. For new pairs, I would basically not bother with anything else other than perhaps the market cap. You can focus on less than 20,000. So you're going to be able to see the very new creations, and then you're going to do everything else when it comes to final stretch and migrated. Okay, now the better ones. You can see that right now I'm also trading USD1 pairs because they're very hot in the market right now. But again, by the time you're watching this video, it could also be done as a fad. Here, the filters are going to be a little different. So depending on how hot and how frenetic the market is right now, you could have age maximum of 60 minutes, especially, you know, if the market is extremely hot. If the market is boring, you could even have something like 200 minutes and so on and so forth. That way, the tokens that are really not migrating or not doing anything, you're gonna exclude them altogether. Top 10 holders, this is basically the percentage that is held by the top 10 holders, as it says. You can have something like 25% just to avoid, you know, diving into scams. Dev holding, in a majority of cases, if it's a meme, the dev would have sold at the very beginning. But if it's a utility project, then it could have the dev holding. I mean, it probably will. And it could have up to 5 or 7% in some cases. But it really depends on the utility. I will not touch it. Snipers, you can put a maximum of 30%. That should be, you know, generous. Insiders and bundle, I wouldn't bother, especially because it's not going to be accurate 100% of the time. Holders minimum, we could put 100 just to avoid the bundle farms. And dev migration, you could have minimum of 1. I want you to do this because if it's a serial scammer that just basically creates pumps and dumps and then they are like 10k toppers, then you're going to exclude them altogether. This is something that you can do or you cannot do. I mean, it's totally up to you, obviously. And then metrics, I like to have 20% bonding curve in a final stretch and 20,000 market cap minimum. Socials, I don't like to touch it usually, but you can put, if you want to be more picky, at least one social. So they're going to have at least a next account or a website linked. Then for migrated, I would suggest you turn on DEX paid because if it's migrated, it should probably have the DEX paid already. Age, again, you can be a little more generous or a little more restricted depending on your preferences and your risk tolerances. But I would say that the most important thing, other than having, you know, migrations or age, etc., is the market cap. So I would put something between 30,000 and 40,000 market cap minimum because that is going to signal that essentially the new launch that has migrated and completed the bonding curve as not rugged, or if it's rugged, it bounced back already and it's going for another run. Because obviously if something has migrated and now it's 10k market cap, the chances are that it's probably cooked by now. Okay, now we can dive into some of the filters that I personally use. We can keep it very short because obviously stick to your preferences. This is what I personally use. It works for me though, and it allows me to get these multipliers when I make this crazy call. So this is what I would do. Preset number 1 would be the normal one that you have for like trades that don't have a lot of volume. Preset number 2 would be the average one, the one that you're going to use 90% of the time in the trenches. And percent number 3 is going to be for sniping. So if there's a new launch, a new ticker that you're following, if you're keyword targeting, etc., etc. So preset 1, 5% buy and sell. I will keep it 5. This is for something that doesn't have a lot of volume. So maybe it could be a conviction play, etc., etc. And I also don't like to use MEV mode because right now I don't feel like there's a lot of sandwich bots on Axiom. Preset number 2 is the usual one, 10% slippage, 0.001 priority, and you can try an experiment with 0.005 bribe or even 0.001 if you want to keep it, you know, more simple. And for selling, I don't even like to use a bribe fee. Basically, the bribe fee makes your transaction go through faster, and the priority, obviously added to the priority fee. The priority is kind of needed all of the time. However, the bribe fee should be there only if you want to make your buy go through instantly. I don't really have this problem with selling the majority of the time. I also keep MEV mode off. I keep it off most of the time really, but if you really want to be, you know, safeguarding yourself, maybe you can activate it into the 5% one just to have a, you know, just to be sure, especially if there's something that with not a lot of volume and you don't want to be fucked with the transaction fees. And preset number 3 should be sniping. So obviously the buy setting, I put 15% now, but it could be as high as like 30% or something. And when it comes to sell settings, I like to keep it low, like 10%, 15% maximum. But here I'm probably going to go higher when it comes to the bribe fee. So 0.005 right now, but it could be as high as 0.01. I really want to point out, this is what works for me, and I think to have like this distinction among the 3 types of filtering helped me a lot. But again, just make sure to use what works best for you. The good thing about this is that you can customize it as much as you want. So, I mean, take notice about what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and then you can adjust. For instance, if you're getting MEVs with your transactions, activate MEV protection. It doesn't really happen to me these days, so this is why I have it off. The next point that I want to talk about is to obviously not trade alone, because the best thing that you can do is surround yourself with like-minded individuals or people that are in your same mission of making money in the trenches. If you're alone, if you're basically a small fish in the sea, you're not gonna go far. This doesn't necessarily mean joining a private group that you need to pay a lot of money for, although in the majority of cases it's gonna be a good idea. I'm running one of the best ones out there for the trenches. You can see that I can just scroll through the chat in which we scan all the CAs, and you're gonna be able to see that we're making gains every single day. So I would highly encourage you to join. You're gonna be able to find it in the first link down in the description. And this is also where I made the calls that I was talking about earlier. This is the best thing that you can do, honestly. There's no shortcut to it. I've tried trading by myself in the past. It just doesn't work as much, because think about it. If you're a group of like 5 or 10 people scanning at the same time, somebody's gonna find some alpha, right? If you're by yourself, chances are that you're gonna lose a lot of things that are happening in the trenches. And to this point, I also want to give you a short introduction to wallet tracking, is the step 5. And honestly, listen, I'm not gonna tell you to copy trade these people. Obviously, you're gonna be able to see this wallet tracker right here that I have on Axiom, which, by the way, I make available for all of my Discord members. It is literally the one that I use myself, so you're gonna be able to find all the top traders and the ones that are worth following, because there's a lot of top traders that unfortunately they're gonna farm you, they're gonna wait for the copy traders to buy, and then they're gonna sell on them, and the majority of people that follow these guys are not gonna be I'm not gonna be profitable. The ones that I'm putting myself in this list, I think that they are very good for understanding what the pros are buying, not necessarily for copy trading them, because if you copy trade them, you're going to lose money in the majority of cases. But if you understand what they're buying, there's going to be very good information that you're going to take out from there. So for instance, what I can see is that this guy is trying to farm people, is doing these very tiny buys to make people ape on his call. So it's not something that I would buy in this very case. Or in a case like this, you can see Gake that bought very early, and then it's just selling on all the guys on every run that this ticker has. So obviously it's too late to buy this. Or you can see that this guy got fucked on this trade. It bought high and sold low. So you're gonna steer away from this as well. Same here, and this is why some of these are going to be really in and out, and if you buy too late, you're going to have this fate. So the best piece of advice that I can give you when it comes to wallet tracking, use it to see what's hot in the trenches. What is the meta? What are people talking about? What are people trading? But don't just use it to see what they buy and then you buy immediately, because then obviously you're going to be higher than them in the majority of cases, and you're going to become extra liquidity or pro traders. It's vital to understand the difference between copy trading and analyzing trends regarding what the pros are doing. And I'm afraid this only comes with experience and with time spent in the trenches, but obviously joining a group that is going to guide you is pivotal, in my opinion, for you to understand how to navigate the trenches in this specific case. Step 6, reading the meta. What is the meta? What does it even mean? The meta basically is the hot topic, the trending topic in the trenches. So for instance, Trump makes a tweet, everybody starts talking about what Trump said. Or Elon posts a tweet, Tesla posts a tweet, or everybody's talking about a specific cat or a chill guy, etc. These are going to be the meta. These are going to be the things that you want to trade. So there's going to be an alpha play. So there's going to be perhaps the main runner, and then there's going to be beta play. There are going to be derivatives, and very similar to the alpha play, but they're going to be a little different. So let's say that chill guy is trending today. There's going to be a lot of derivatives. So I can see some derivatives of chill guy and chill house narrative. So chill coin, face, chill house face. These are going to be beta plays to chill guy, or I don't know if there's like an alpha play right now for the chill guy meta, but then anyway, you get the picture. These are going to be trending. I'm not sure why it's even trending right now, because I just opened Axiom and I'm not really trenching at this very moment. But I do believe that chill house is trending right now. That is like the alpha play, and so there's going to be a lot of derivatives of chill house. So this is a different chill house. It's trending right now. Let's take a look. I mean, you're probably late to the party if you're buying something like this. I think that the general rules apply with crypto trading, obviously buy low and sell high. This is not a chart that I would buy in this very moment, and also no wallets that I'm tracking are buying this thing. And if there's no wallets that I'm tracking, it's probably going to be a farm or it's going to be a scam, because in the majority of cases, some of the profitable KOLs that I track, and I track like hundreds of them, they're going to buy a ticker. So this is also a red flag. If no wallets that I'm tracking are here, then I'm probably going to steer away. Here you can see community. Obviously, just checking coins that have a community is usually a good opportunity, because you're going to be able to see what the community engagement is, etc., etc. So if you click on here, you're going to be able to see the community is good. You can see that they paid the DEX, and the engagement is quite decent, to be honest. It's weird that I don't see KOLs talking about it, but the engagement seems alright, so this could be a gamble. Also, these plays don't usually last all that long, so just be mindful of just investing into something like this, especially if you're aping the top. There's 17 migration, so it's weird that there's no KOLs in this, but this could have potential, for instance. And then I see stuff like this. Obviously, this is a scam, a bundle farm, and you can easily tell, especially, you don't need to be an expert. If you see a big candle like this, and this is like a farm, okay? So this is a bundle. The ones that you see right here is a bundle. So this is a clear scam. And here you can see that they're basically farming. So they're going to sell every time that an external buy comes in. This is something that I spot immediately. What you can do if you see this kind of plays, you click on this icon and you're going to blacklist the dev. So anything that is deployed by that dev is going to be hidden forever. Don't get scammed, please. USA coin, there's been a very hot US meta as of recent, but this is another bundle scam, I'm afraid. So you can see that the majority of these ones are coming from Meteor. So perhaps we can just hide it, and we're going to avoid those kind of scams, all right? This, I'm not sure. So also, when it comes to tweets, this is also very important to understand the meta. This is something that came from this guy 34 minutes ago. 34 minutes is too long. In fact, you can see that it's showing as orange. It's not showing as green. If it's green, it means that the tweet has just been put out there. If it's red, it's even worse. It could be hours or days. And if it's like less than 1 hour, I think it's like orange. But, you know, if something doesn't pick up immediately, in my opinion, it's not worth mentioning. Here's a Twitter profile. Always make sure that the Twitter profile is verified. I can see that it's verified, so that's good. It could be LARP or it could not be, but if the Twitter profile is verified, that's usually a green flag, although there's going to be still a lot of scams, so be mindful of that. Here they're talking about Stranger Things 5. I'm not sure if there's a new season coming in for Stranger Things, but if a new season is dropping tomorrow, then it's probably going to be in the meta. And see, this on the cards could have potential because it's talking about, you know, chill guy, chill house meta, and the tweet was just posted 2 minutes ago. So obviously this is a gamble, it's a new pair, I have no idea where it's going, but you can see that this could be a good opportunity for all of you guys wanting to do new pairs. I hope this gives you a bit of an understanding about the meta. Obviously, I could just stay here and talk about the meta for hours. It's not very simple to explain or understand, but again, it's something that you're gonna understand through time, especially if you're trenching with other guys. And the last step, the last thing that I want to talk about is obviously taking profits. Taking profits is probably the most important thing, because you could make, you know, crazy multipliers on some shitters like this, but at the end of the day, if you make money and you don't take profits and then it rugs, you're not gonna be making any money at all. You need to take profits before they go to zero. All meme coins are going to go to zero. Probably no exception other than maybe something like Doge or Shiba, and etc., etc. But the majority of them are going to go to zero. If you don't take profits, you only have yourself to blame, really, okay? So what I can do is to take profits, I would take my initial out at 2x. So let's say that for the purpose that I'm making right here, I buy right here at 20k market cap. And let's say that this meme coin goes to 60k market cap in the end. I'm gonna take my initial out at 40k. So I do a 2x, okay, right now, right here, I'm making a 2x. I take my initial investment out. So I take out 50% of my bag, and that 50% is gonna be my initial investment. So I'm gonna take out my initial investment. It's like I never invested in the first place, but I have a moon bag. So I'm essentially running on the house. And then at every pump, let's say that it keeps pumping, at every pump I take out 10% or 20%. So I take some here, they pumps a little more, it comes here, then it dumps, and perhaps I take some more because I think it's rugging, and then I see where it goes, and then I keep taking profits, etc., etc. This is so important. And likewise, I'm gonna have a stop loss of like 20 to 30%. So let's say that this coin never pumps and it goes down 20%, let's say here. I'm gonna have a limit order, so you can put sell limit, all right, 100% of my bag. So if it goes here, I'm gonna stop my loss because I have $100. I don't want that $100 to become zero. So when it becomes $80 or $70 and it loses a key support level, although you probably were not gonna make TA realistic on a new pair, but let's say there is something that is migrated already, etc., you're gonna cut your losses. So you're gonna sell automatically when it goes here. You can put limit orders both for take profits and stop losses. This is pivotal for you guys to understand. So as soon as I make a buy, I could put a take profit, I could put a stop loss at, let's say, 100% gain or 20% loss. My rule of thumb is really taking the initial out at 2x and getting out of the investment at like 20% down. This is the way that I manage it. You should win big and lose small. Very important concept for you guys to understand. And I think that developing a good mindset when it comes to risk management is probably the best skill that you can develop in the trenches. And that's it. That was step 7. I don't think it's rocket science. I don't think it's hard to understand. It's just skills that you're gonna develop over time. So one of the best pieces of advice, obviously, don't fall in love with your bags. Secure your profits, get in, get out, move on to the next thing, okay? Trading is not about gambling. It's about managing expectations, profitability, and managing risk, cutting your losses and taking profits when profits are due. Follow this system. You don't have to refresh the chart every single second, and I'm sure that profits will come to you in the end. And obviously, you know, here in Discord, we're gonna make some crazy profits. Sometimes it's gonna be at 10x, sometimes it's gonna be 50% up, and as we always say, profit is profit. And sometimes, you know, things are not gonna go as planned. It's gonna go maybe 50% up in this case, then it's gonna dump, and we're gonna cut our losses. But in the majority of cases, you can see the results speak for themselves, and we're making this kind of multipliers every single day, multiple times a day. Remember, the link to join the Discord is going to be the first link down in the description. And obviously, to start trading on Axiom, make sure to use the link that I've posted in the description of this video. And as a reminder, it also gives you 10% off trading fees forever. It's just a no-brainer if you want to become a degen and get started with the trenches. This is it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you found this useful. If you want to see more of this in the future, let me know. I want to hear from you, and I'm obviously here to help you and help you become a better trader. I'll see you in the trenches, but only when it's time to make money, which is probably now.